Hello everyone, welcome back. This is JFez and we are going to be talking about some more Marincess magic. So this time around I splashed in another engine. I don't remember if I probably did do a YouTube video about using MOULINGLACIA in the Marincess deck. This time around we are bringing it back, but we are trying to have a better guarantee of having it in your hand during your turn. That'll be using the Sea Serpent Atlantean Dragoons and the card Deep Sea Aria to get there. It's really cool. I'm really excited. And the thing also, yesterday we uploaded a video. We did Marincess ICEJADEs. ICEJADEs is the other engine in this Marincess deck. It'll really help out. I'm really excited. I have two matches that I am going to show here today, and I have some some test hands as well. And really, just the fact that you get to extend your normal summon until later on in your play through the ICEJADEs is really cool, as well as using Acti to draw a card on your opponent's turn. So, all that being said, let's get into the deck profile. And let's just show you what we got. All right. I'm so stressed out. I'm so stressed out watching this. It's 41 cards. 41. I hate that. Look at that. Look at how many cards could fit right in this little spot. This little spot underneath the Deep Sea Aria and the TTTs. It's just, it's so uneven. It stresses me out. I hate it. But I was trying to be fair about my ratios. I want at least 1/4 of my Marincess deck to be Marincess monsters. 10 of them. We have 3 Marincess Blue Tank, 3 Marincess Seahorse, 3 Marincess Pascalis, and 1 Marincess Mandarin. Mandarin, of course, is always going to be searchable through Blue Tank or Signet Mining if you need it. Pascalis, Seahorse, Blue Tank, they're all great starter cards. I can always start a play with those cards if I see no ICEJADEs in my hand. That'll always just be something that I can do, and that's perfect because that is the main engine of this deck, especially since we're heading into the Marincess extra deck. The extra deck is just littered with Marincess cards, so try to be fair there. At least 1/4 being Marincess monsters that can start a play by themselves. Going forward, we do have 2 of the ICEJADE Tremoras and 2 of the ICEJADE Actis. This engine is helped out by their spell card, the ICEJADE Cradle. 3 of those spell cards. I need to have that. If I'm going to open on monsters, I want a higher chance for it to be Marincess. If I'm going to open on spells, it doesn't really matter, really. I mean, Battle Ocean means I don't have to use Sea Angel, or I could use Sea Angel's effect to bait out, an infinite impermanence. Signet Mining, ICEJADE Cradle, Deep Sea Aria, they're all searches, and they're all, for the respective engines that I have. They're just really, I think the ratios work really well. Yes, this new engine, the Sea Serpents, the Atlantean Dragoons, and the MOULINGLACIA these 3 cards are being supported by the Deep Sea Aria. Atlantean Dragoons is really cool. I left it at 2. I don't care to really draw it. I care more about drawing Deep Sea Aria if I can, because then I can open up the rest of my hand can show me Blue Tank, Seahorse, Signet Mining, ICEJADE Tremora, ICEJADE Cradle, any of those cards. Atlantean Dragoons is so cool. I'm so glad that it's not restricted to Atlantean or Sea Serpents, because its effect to bring another Sea Serpent, any Sea Serpent monster from my deck to my hand, is really valuable when it comes to, it's a water monster. You have to activate a water monster's effect by sending it to the graveyard. I have 2 cards in this deck in separate engines that can do that. ICEJADE Acti. When it's summoned, I can pitch a water monster to the graveyard to activate it, draw a card. If that's Dragoons, that means, I draw a card and then Dragoons in the graveyard because it activated a water monster's effect by being sent to the graveyard. MOULINGLACIA is in my hand. I get 2 cards into my hand because of that interaction. Where else does that happen? We'll talk about it in the extra deck. Moving forward, we do have 3 effect Balers. Called by the Grave, gotta have them. 2 Marincess Battle Oceans, I'm sticking to the 2. I think that's fair enough. I'm always gonna be able to search them, and the more that Marincess is played against, I think the more people will realize you have to stop Sea Angel, because Battle Ocean is really, really important. 3 Signet Minings, you know, I always say, you know, there are a bunch of Marincess cards in this deck. You know, we have the 10 monsters, we have the 2 spells, and we have the 3 traps, the waves. Signet Mining, for all intents and purposes, are 3 more Marincess cards. ICEJADE Cradles, 3 of them. Yeah, it's crazy because I've opened 2 of them in my hand multiple times, and they're not restricted. You can use it as many times as you want. If you open 2, you get Acti and Tremora into your hand. Deep Sea Aria, you get to banish a monster, which is really cool because if you go second and you banish it, Great Bubble Beef is going to get 600 attack for that turn. That's awesome. And then yeah, you pitch the Dragoons into your hand. You don't pitch it, you bring it from the deck. You search it, you search it, you search it, you bring it in general, this spell has a lot of synergy with Great Bubble Beef. And I've already talked about it really. You get to banish plus 600, and then Great Bubble Beef, again, we'll talk about it, but let's finish this out. 3 Triple Tactics Talent. Probably my favorite card in the deck. Behind, you know, my baby Totally Awesome, of course. We have 3 Marincess Wave and 3 Infinite Impermanences. We talk about it all the time. I don't need to get into it. On to the extra deck. We have 2 Marincess Sea Angels, 2 Marincess Blue Slugs, a Crystal Heart, 2 Coral Anemone, 2 Marble Rock, a Wonder Heart, a Great Bubble Beef, an Access Code Talker, because why not? And for the first time ever in one of the matches that I had against the Rokket Dragon Links, I did get to use the number 101 Silent Honor Arc. It was really cool. It helped me just end the game earlier than I was projected to. Moving on, Bahamut Shark, Totally Awesome. The 2 Wombo combo, you know, the setting up the board is exactly what you want to see, is getting Bahamut Shark out there. Yeah, let's talk about Great Bubble Reef and its interaction with Deep Sea Aria. Yeah, you banish, plus 600. If you go first, doesn't matter. The plus 600 doesn't matter, but you get to banish. You get to banish a Marincess monster because it's banish any water card. Deep Sea Aria. Banish any water card, and then you add a level 4 or lower Sea Serpent monster from the deck to your graveyard. That is going to be Atlantean Dragoons, which is exactly level 4. Now that you banished a Marincess monster, if everything lines up perfectly, if you paid attention to how many water monsters you've been using throughout your turn, and even if not, it doesn't matter because you get to use MOULINGLACIA later. Because you got to banish a Marincess monster, any water card, but that'll be a Marincess monster, and you added Dragoons into your hand, and because of Bubble Beef's effect that you can use the turn that it is summoned, you can send the Dragoons into the graveyard to activate Great Bubble Beef's effect, which is to special summon a Marincess monster that was banished. And what did we say about Dragoons going to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect? You then get to search a Sea Serpent from your deck and add it to your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, MOULINGLACIA. It's just a really cool interaction, and I'm really happy that I have it in this deck. So let's just finish out what we got for the rest of this deck, because yeah, I want to be at for sure under 20 minutes this video this time, but I want to aim for 15 minutes. Time is valuable, your time is important. Let's get on to the side deck. 3 Droll Lockbirds, 3 Artifact Lancias, 3 Token Collectors, 3 Dark Ruler No Mores, and 3 Lightning Storms. Cool. Let's get into the test hands. Let's watch those matches. Let's see how they go, how this deck holds up. And I think you guys are gonna, I think if you guys watch this and you're a fan of the water decks or Marincess in general, I think you're really gonna like what this deck is able to do.
Play that song for me. It's my favorite song.
I did it. I beat Rokket Dragon with Marincess. Okay, that was a quick little clip from the live stream of me going against that Rokket Dragon deck. Just being really happy about that deck and just being really happy about how those matches went. Yeah, he misplayed a little bit. You should never really negate Blue Slug's effect to bring Mandarin back into your hand. Mandarin can always special summon itself from the graveyard. But that being said, that was really cool. I'm really excited about this deck. I think I am moving on from Marincess. I'm still going to be playing it, at locals, online, on Twitch. But I think I'm going to now move on to different decks. I think for sure I want to get my perfect version of the Sword Soul Tenyi deck that I have and that I have physical copies of. So I think I'm going to be working on that next and doing YouTube videos. However, so many people have done so many Sword Soul Tenyi deck profiles online, so it might be something I skip and I might move on to something else. So that being said, do follow me on Twitch. It'll be twitch.tv/jfez8. Follow me here on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, and jfez and TikTok at jfez8. Thank you very much. And also a special shout out to my boy Lilo, or Natsu Fairy Tale. He did the music for this video. I haven't talked about this before, but please, down below there is a link to his SoundCloud. Go over there, follow him, give my boy some support. He makes some really cool music, and I'm really happy to use it for my YouTube videos. Thank you, everyone. Leave a like. Please subscribe, help me out. I want to be more involved here on YouTube, and leave a comment and engage with me. I would really appreciate that so much. So y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in.